With us for Digital Dose today, a man that needs no introduction, the Iron Sheik. Thank you so much for joining me.
A pleasure for me to come to the Toronto, and especially with my young nephew and Gian and Pashman. They did the Iron Sheik documentary, and I'm here for another 2-3 more days, and I'm very happy to be in Toronto.
I know you have some other plans in Toronto. I'm going to ask you about that in a second. But first, I want to ask you about what you mentioned, the documentary. Maybe you can tell me, just give me sort of an overview about what it is that you've been working on here.
So the story is about the Iron Sheik, Khosrow Vaziri's life story, which is quite a colorful story, actually. He was the Shah of Iran's bodyguard and was alternate on the Olympic team, and left the country to move to the United States, where he became the most hated man in America. However, it couldn't happen to a guy who was more patriotic, which is the irony and everything. You add in all the wrestling part of it, and you have a pretty remarkable story that my brother and I have been producing for 6 years, and we have just recently launched an Indiegogo campaign to assist in the fundraising efforts of this project. It's not easy putting a documentary together, especially when it's a passion project and your main objective is to maintain someone's legacy. So Indiegogo.com is the website, and the keyword is the Iron Sheik, and we're getting there. So we're really excited so far.
This is sort of 6 years in the making. How has it been having people follow you around to make a movie about the story of your life?
Well, I'm happy because Megan Boys, my agents, they know the family and themselves. They know about the Iron Sheik background better than anybody, and I'm very happy to about that documentary. I hope very soon going to be ready.
You are here in Toronto to do this kind of stuff, obviously, but as well for a stag party, if I have that right?
I'd like to you talk about that exactly. You said it, Gian, if you want
Well,
to
what,
talk.
are you embarrassed? Are you scared?
Well, no, I don't know what to say about that.
Well,
You don't know what to say about the stag party? This is the buzz around the office. Is the
bachelor party.
the bachelor party. Who's the bachelor?
I think Gian is wants to get married, and they have bachelor party for Gian, and then he can a little bit talk better than me about his bachelor party.
Gian, this is your bachelor party? Okay.
That is correct. There is a lucky lady, and I'm a lucky guy out there. I'm getting married this summer. Actually, I'll be the first wedding ever to take place in Maple Leaf Gardens, which is really awesome.
Very cool.
And he's going to be in attendance, which is also awesome because he has such a history at Maple Leaf Gardens. And so I'm getting married, and unfortunately, or fortunately for all the people in attendance, I have to compete with my brother who got married 5 years ago, and he had a pretty insane stag where he brought in the Wu-Tang Clan and a bunch of wrestlers and Playboy models, and it was just off the hook. So my groomsmen are planning a stag for me, and we have rap group, a Tribe Called Quest coming, and the Iron Sheik's going to be there. WWE legend Virgil will be there, and one of Iron Sheik's enemies, but we're hoping that they can patch things up. Jose Canseco will be there, so it's going to be a pretty awesome party.
He said you might patch things up with Jose Canseco. Do you think that's going to happen?
Well, I don't mind. I can beat up that jabroni, Jose Canseco, whatever his name is. But I'm just happy to be here and have a good time with them, and going to be very interesting for me. Very good, yes.
I see there's a lot of tweets on your timeline about Toronto. What's your favorite part about being here?
Well, my favorite part is to come here for documentary and see the Megan family and Megan boys, and for Maple Leaf Garden, like reminding my young day. I'm very happy to come back to Toronto one more time again and talk to all my wrestling friends and everybody. I'm very happy.
I got to jump in. I'm not sure if you really understand the background of how I'm just sitting in the chair beside him. So our father was his childhood best friend, and they grew up in athletics together, our father being a ping pong champion in Iran, him being a wrestling champion. And so we grew up where all the bad guy wrestlers every 3 or 4 months would come to our house, and my mom would literally make a Persian feast. Like, she'd slaughter an animal in the backyard, and like there'd be food for an army, which was all the bad guy wrestlers. And so it actually propelled my brother and I to get into the entertainment business, because this is like a family member. I'm not agent is kind of like a word that he uses to make sure he knows that
Make it sound official.
Yeah, official, but that he's the boss and I work for him. everybody loves him. He could move here and just have like a whole life because of the community of people that he's met here.
That's pretty lucky to have a city that you could move to, and it's already like home, pretty much.
Exactly. I'm very happy. And
Toronto #1.
always.
Toronto #1 in all of Canada, maybe?
Yeah, all Canada and Toronto.
No, but if you had to say, in all Canada, well, first of all, you better say what I want you to say here, okay? The #1 city in Canada for you.
For me, as far as I know so far, Toronto #1.
Okay, and what about United States?
Oh,
Toronto #1.
Okay, Toronto #1 if you want.
You are a very popular man on Twitter. I'm wondering why you think that is. Why do you think everybody on Twitter loves you so much?
Well, you have to ask that my family, Pashman Megan, and he did all my Twitter, and he's very smart, and I'm part of that, and he know what he do, he know what he talk, and Iron Sheik Twitter very popular.
Very popular.
I can probably jump in here. Some of the things that come out of his mouth, I think he in front of a lady, he's a little more mild-mannered. But if you've ever seen him on Howard Stern or out in the world, the Sheik's a party animal. He's outrageous. He's a larger-than-life character. The things that come out of his mouth are always like so funny, and this Twitter has revitalized his career. Between him calling all the time saying, "I'm not near my Twitter. Can you tweet for us?" or him doing the tweets himself and his family jumping in, like the stuff that he comes up with and the people that he calls out on Twitter. It's turned him into the biggest crowd pleaser. He is the good guy now, as opposed to being the bad guy. And he actually just won a Twitter award at the LA Twitter conference, and he was voted most outrageous Twitter account.
Is that a title that you hold with pride, most outrageous Twitter account?
Exactly, right?
Pretty proud of that?
Yes.
What's your opinion about Ryan Braun doing steroids and getting suspended?
Well, international opinion that they didn't like it and they were happy, and I think he did.
He's a jabroni.
He's jabroni, exactly.
Do you follow him on Twitter?
I do.
Really?
Yes.
Listen, maybe one of these times you'll give him a little love from your account.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because this is a documentary I want to see. I think this is a pretty remarkable story that not necessarily everybody knows all of the details of it. They might know some parts of it, but not all of it. So, absolutely. Thank you so much for coming in. And like the radio guys asked, if we could get one Canada #1.
Toronto #1.
Toronto #1. Can we get one more of those?
Yes. I'm here, Toronto, and always Toronto #1 to Iron Sheik.
Awesome. Thank you so much to the Iron Sheik and to Gian for coming in and joining us for Digital Dose today.
Thank you very much.